Welcome back, all our 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
And I'm Lane.
And we're here to bring you another Warhammer 40K battle report today, featuring the brand new Grey Knight. So tonight is going to be a Grey Knight.
Every time you play Grey Knights, here comes the Grey Knight pun.
Yes. So a little side piece on that one. I used to mess with
there's a backstory to the Grey Knight pun?
There is a backstory on that
okay.
one, yes.
I'm going to sit down and enjoy the story.
Working in restaurants prior, I told some of my employees a couple of times whenever I'd give a customer their food and they leave, I go, a couple of them like, hey, I never tell a customer to have a great night. I'm like, I always tell them, have a Grey Knight in homage to the Grey Knights. And they look at me, they go, okay. Well, over time they'd hear and listen. And it was like a magic eye for the ear, because then they'd come up to me and be like, you really do tell every customer to have a Grey Knight. I'm like, yes, I do it every single time. And so once they hear it, you can't unhear it. So that's why I keep throwing that out there, and I will till the day I stop playing Grey Knights.
Every time.
Which, with this Codex, is not going to be anytime soon. We have some excellent detachments. I feel like the detachments for Grey Knights are more all-comers built, because there's a lot of stratagems that work really well in some situations, but don't work well in others. So it's like you pick and choose between them, but through most matchups, you're going to have 2 or 3 really good strats, and probably 2 strats that are just not going to work at all. Mm-hmm. So today I'm bringing the Augarium Task Force, which, unlike some popular opinion, I think is probably one of the more powerful detachments. This has my name written all over it. Up and down shenanigans all day long. We're going to be all over the map. And
I can't wait.
What's that? Oh, you can't wait. I thought you said, okay, wait, sorry.
No, I can't wait to have to deal with more uppy downies.
And Terminators. We got 4-man squads of Terminators. So today I will be bringing 6 squads of 4 Terminators. So
6 squads of 4, you say?
Yes. So we're going to see how that all goes today. Have some fun with it and test some stuff out. And Lane, you're bringing just Custodes.
Well, everybody's been playing the Lines of the Emperor detachment, and that's because it's really good competitively. The +1 to wound is really strong, especially when you can control where your units are, so you can make sure they're all 6 inches apart so they get that.
And you have an army that has very few units, so it's not very much that you got to stay away from.
Yeah, so I decided I was going to go back and try the Solar Spearhead. It's a lot of fun. I like taking the vehicles out for a spin. And here's the thing, guys. I get to take a Land Raider and put a hard-hitting combat unit, and then I drive the Land Raider through a wall, and they disembark and charge and attack things. So just kind of like I'm doing with the Death Guard in Mortarian's Hammer, we can do the same thing today. Unfortunately, my Land Raider is not gold and shiny. I don't have a golden Land Raider yet, but they're borrowing one from their buds in the Death Watch.
So this is a battle as old as time. Silver versus gold. A bunch of Terminators. Almost went fully Terminator bodies. I'm very close to going just full Terminator body theme list on this one, with a lot of new stuff we're going to be testing out and into some Custodians. Let's see what these Custodians look like. Lane, what do you got?
All right. If you want to know more details about the data sheets, the detachments, the stratagems, the enhancements, and how we plan to use everything, please check out our individual army list reports as we go through all that in great detail. But for now, here is a quick rundown. I have exactly 2,000 points of Custodes in the Solar Spearhead detachment. We've got 4 characters. We do have Kyria Draxus, of course. We've got Trajan Valoris as our warlord, and we've got 2 dreadnoughts that we made into characters. We have a Contemptor Achilles dreadnought that has the Adamantian Talisman, and we have the Contemptor Galatis dreadnought that has the Augury uplink. For battle line, we do have 2 squads of Custodian Guard, 2 4-mans. One of them does have the Vexilla, so that'll be joined by Trajan, so they can get onto an objective and you get the wound rerolls. Then we've got 2 of the Caladius Grav tanks. These guys both have the Twin Arachnus Blaze cannons, even though they're not exactly WYSIWYG. We have 1 of the Palace Grav tanks. I had exactly 105 points left over after I built this list, and guess what? This guy's exactly 105 points. He's a vehicle, so we'll see how he does today. We've got 1 Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought. We have 1 Venerable Land Raider, and we've got 2 4-man squads of the Witch Seekers. DJ, what are you bringing today?
All right, so I'll splash through this quickly since this is the new Codex. We got a couple things to talk about with this unit. So what I have a Grandmaster Dread Knight. He's going to be sporting the new multi-melt, the new melta weapon, the Subliminator, I think is what it's called, and a side cannon with a hammer. a standard Dreadnought, side cannon silencer, hammer. Yes, I like silencers. We have a Venerable Dreadnought with a plasma cannon. We have, as mentioned, 6 4-man squads of Grey Knight Terminators, an Ancient with a side cannon, an Apothecary, and then 2 extra dudes. And then last, we have Castellan Crow leading his trademark 10 Purifiers with Incinerators. A lot of what I did, I wanted to run some of the new stuff, really showcase some of the new stuff. Purifiers, although they're not the new stuff that I'm running, did they get a glow up?
Yeah, I'm real worried about them. They just got stronger. That Purifying Flame going to AP2 and now getting access to wound rolls, bonkers.
Yes, the ability now for the Purifier shifted over to if you you get reroll wound rolls of 1, but if you're targeting a unit that's on an objective, now you're full wound re-rolls. That's a tough one. We'll get it. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, so the big 3 things that I want to talk about real fast with this detachment that are kind of the test points and see and keep an eye on. Number 1, the detachment rule. How strong is this? The detachment rule is, I can pick, since we're playing a 2,000 point game, I can pick up 3 units at the end of lane's turn and put them into strategic to then deep strike them back on.
That's the army rule.
That's the army rule. Big thing to note is you don't have to drop them in, as it was in the previous edition or previous index. The index, you had to bring them back in the next turn. Now you could leave them off, per se, maybe to rapid ingress or something like that to have them in a more advantageous position as the game progresses. So that's very powerful. The detachment rule is that if I don't pick up 3, if I pick up 2 or less, then at the beginning of my movement phase, I can select a unit to put in strategic reserve to then deep strike back down.
This in the same phase.
Correct. So this is a big deal because now we can hold those objectives. We can hold objectives and score primaries and do things like that, see the cards as well, and do these things. And one thing I didn't mention, I just realized with my army video, I do have 1 standard Grand Master, and he's going to be leading 1 squad of Terminators because he does have CP reduction and the ability to go strength 13, 8 attacks, AP 2 damage.
That sounds terrifying.
Enhancement for +4 strength. Ability that he has now is +3 strength, +3 attacks. So you use both those once per game ability same time. Boom, you're strength 13.
Right.
He also reduces CP, which goes into the next factor. There is a stratagem that at the end of my movement phase, or beginning of my movement phase, just like the ability, I can select a unit and put them into reserve to then drop back down the field. So I can do that with 2 units.
Does it matter how many you picked up at the end of your previous turn for that one?
No, I can pick up 4
So even if you
units.
picked all 3, you can pick that 4th.
I can pick up 2 units. I can pick up 2 units, then use the detachment rule to pick up a unit at the beginning of my movement phase, then spend a CP to pick up a 4th additional unit. Now, the critical thing with the detachment rule is that doesn't start until turn 2. The stratagem can be used on turn 1. So I could, one problem that Grey Knights had with their rule is when they go first, it's like, what do you do? Now I can do that going first, pick up a unit and be able to get somewhere else to still maintain a good flow on secondaries and gameplay like that.
That's gross.
That is awesome. Number 2, the Subliminator, the new Melta weapon on the Grandmaster.
The Sublime Tater.
The Sublime. Ooh, I like that. The Sublime Tater. So we gave him the enhancement so that when he lands, he can then move D6 inches. Okay, D6 inches kind of sucks. What if you roll a 1? That's fine.
Still gets you into Melta range.
That's the key right there, is that will put him into Melta range. And that's another reason for the Venerable.
Melta 2, right? It's only Melta 2?
Melta 4.
Oh.
And it's twin linked.
Yes.
And then you have the side cannon as well. Combined with the Venerable Dreadnought, able to give +1 to hit when it hits a target. A big reason with the plasma cannon is that whole factor there. So, and then the last is 4-man squads of Terminators. Now, I feel some sort of way about it because this is a way of getting away not having a specific Grandmaster model. But
if you want to hear him complain about that, go check out his army video.
And just watch the next 12 videos. I'll complain about it forever. But I want kits. We want kits, man. Grey Knights have the least amount of kits. Strike box. Strike creates purifiers. Purge.
Let's go.
Strike and interceptors. But trying out all these Grey Knight Terminators, let's see what this does. I mean, 160 points for 4 Terminator bodies that are OC3 is interesting.
Man, it's so strong. Yeah. especially with all your uppy downy shenanigans. You should be scoring like crazy with these guys.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes. Lane, anything you want to say about the Custodes?
No, I'm just going to drive a Land Raider through a wall.
All right. Sorry, I did kind of monopolize that. New Codex. Real excited here. Real excited for the new Codex. Let's see how this does. Odd or even?
Even.
I know. It's always even.
I already called it.
Yeah, you called it while I was rambling. You know that. I'm a trade man. You can't stop me. It is even. I have no infiltrator, no scout, nothing. I don't need that. I'll just put my guys wherever I want as the game goes.
Don't need that. All right, yeah, I'll have you drop first.
All right, we'll be back after deployment. All right, we are deployed and on 2 mics, as I didn't mention before. Lane, what are we doing?
We are playing the glorious game of Warhammer 40,000. Our deployment today is Crucible of Battle. And then we are doing Terraform as our primary. So Terraform's kind of more complicated mission. You do see it occasionally competitively. You get 4 points for each objective control, up to 12 points per turn. And then additionally, you can terraform objectives that are in no man's land or your opponent's deployment zone. If you do that, it completes at the end of your turn now, and you score 1 point at the end of each player turn for each objective you have terraformed. So yeah, you can score some extra points that way. Still pretty solid just controlling objectives, but it's a little bit of bookkeeping now because you score a point at the end of each player turn for each one you have. And you can unterraform your opponent's objectives now if you do the action on them.
All right, so as far as deployments go, in Deep Strike today, I only have 2 of the 4-man squads of Terminators and the regular Dread Knight because my army rule, I can pick a lot of things up. I don't want too much off board because I do want to. It's a 50-50 who's going to go first, and going second means I can start picking up a lot of stuff. Going first means I can only pick up one thing. So, for my deployment, I have the Grand Master and his squad of Terminators hanging out on the objective with 3 more squads of Terminators back here. Then we have our Grand Master Dread Knight with his Venerable Dreadnought and Crow hanging out over here. So this is kind of like all my weapon pieces are over here. And depending on how Lane does things, then I can just pick what I'm picking up and get back in the offense. And then over here is my mission play. So we'll see how that does. All right, Lane, what'd you do?
I do not have anything in reserve other than one Achilles Dreadnought, who I'll try to rapid him in later in the game here. Other than that, we're on the line, ready to go. I'm not too worried about DJ shooting turn 1, even though he does have the ability to pick up if he goes first and bop stuff around. But if he does that, I will just respond by killing that thing, hopefully. So we're on the line here, ready to go. We did play a little defensively, so we're not quite out in the open, but ready to go forward with everyone. So we've got our Galatis, we've got some Witch Seekers, so they have a scout move. We do have the regular Contemptor Dreadnought. We've got Caladius, the Land Raider with Trajan Valoris, and 4 Custodian Guard in there. We've got Curia Draxus with Custodian Guard inside here, ready to step out and start shooting things in the middle of the table. Another Caladius, and the baby little Palace Grav Tank, who's going to contribute. He's going to do something today.
All right, so I'm not even going to ask. I want to go second. Great Knights. We always want to go second. So there's no question there. So for that, you probably want to go second because you just don't want me to go second.
Deny you going second.
All right, let's roll. And I will not be going second.
Thank God.
That's a 3. Right. All right, so Grey Knights will be going first. Lane, you said you just got a little bit of scout moves. Not too much. Not too much there. So I think it's time to play the game. A very, very simple Grey Knight turn. We may advance these guys out and just kind of move right up on just get on the outside. We didn't roll very hot for them, so they're just hugging the wall. Just so we have some other units in position to do things. I don't want to completely rely on the fact that I can just deep strike everything and have stuff for later turns. This turn I got Assassinate and no prisoners. Joy. Not really good lane to be able to get those guys. So these guys are just, we got 1 squad Terminators here, 1 squad Terminators here, hanging out for next turn. The Grand Master squad, I did spend 1 command point on, which he zeroes out for the battle round. Good thing they fixed that. To pick them up at the beginning of my movement phase, and then we drop them over here, reinforcements. So they're going to terraform this objective. And then these guys got in position. If lane gets aggressive, then we don't necessarily need to pick up, and we can just move out there and start doing some work. So nothing on secondaries. We're going to pitch Assassinate for an additional commandular point. And we'll keep no prisoners because eventually we got to destroy stuff. So that's not a bad one to have. All right. Time for the Custodes and Lane's turn.
We are blitzing through turn 1 pretty fast here. I got establish locus and extend battle lines. So yeah, we just moved some witch seekers up here. They're actually not going to establish locus. They're going to terraform because I'll probably get establish locus in the middle is only 2 points. I'll probably get a point or two on this from terraform. So I'm actually going to do that instead. That way I can pitch establish locus for a command point because I don't have any CP generation in this army. So that's what it is. So girls move forward here. They are going to terraform. We advanced up the Venerable Dreadnought. He is standing there. These girls got up there, and they are terraforming. That's it. We took some shots with this Caladius at the Terminators. The DJ poked out there. Only got 2 wounds. DJ made both of his 4-up invulns, so no damage was done. That's it for my turn. Scored 4 points for extend, and that's it. On
Now, because we're doing this, we're gonna talk about it a little bit. So at the end of my turn, I'm going to select 2 units. I'm going to take the squad of Terminators and the Venerable Dreadnought, and they are going to go into strategic. I do not have to bring them back in, but they are able to in my reinforcement step. So those guys are out. I'm only doing 2, so I'll be able to pick one up at the end of the beginning of my movement phase for my turn.
Sounds good.
All right, moving into turn 2 with the Grey Knights, I got what was it? Still have no prisoners, and now we're on recover assets. So tried it, looked around. There was nowhere for me to get into Lane's backfield for recover assets. So the most we'll be able to do is 2 zones, kind of right here and right here, depending on how things go and where things end up. So as we said, we picked up the Venerable Dreadnought and the Purifiers. Purifiers I elected to keep off board. And then for my detachment rule, I picked up the Grandmaster Dreadnought. Or no, I'm sorry. For my detachment rule, I picked up a squad of Terminators, which I brought down over here from the backfield. And then I picked up the Grandmaster using the ability, but since he also can reduce stratagems and it's a new battle round, he did it for free. So we're at 4 CP for this turn. We'll see what we can do with that. So then we brought all 3 of these guys down. Dreadnought, and they're all within 24 of this Dreadnought. I'm gonna hurt myself at some point today with Dreadknights and Dreadnought speakage. If the Dreadnought hits, we'll get +1 to hit with the Dread Knights. So that's kind of the plan. We're not within range with the Subliminator that has now become the Sublime Tater, which now is the potato gun. So this is a potato melt-a-gun. We are
the noblest weapons for the Grey Knights. The twin-linked potato gun.
I really think it's going to be that I'm going to just need to model a potato gun on it and be like the Sublime Tater. This is firing nuclear potatoes at you. All right. These guys moved back. They're still on the objective, but they're within 24 inches to put shots on these girls in the middle. And then I deep struck another squad of Terminators down here so that they can shoot or do their action, whatever we decide to do at that point. I think these guys are going to recover assets. Charging into the tank or even trying to do a 9-inch charge into the tank doesn't really seem worth it for me. I'll just take the points. I didn't get anything on secondaries for round 1, and while getting into some challenge cards could be okay, if Lane has a huge turn, that 3 points is not quite going to be enough for me to be where I want to be to catch up. So we're just going to go after our secondaries and see what happens. But first, we got some Grey Knight shooting. Another turn that we moved through kind of quick because the shooting and fighting all happened at the same time because there was no fighting. So shooting-wise, the Dreadnought hurt himself with his overcharged plasma cannon, but we definitely needed that because he did get 3 damage through against the Dreadnought that's no longer there. The Grandmaster failed to do any damage. Again, the Sub-Tater ain't within range. This Dread Knight, 6 hits, 6 wounds, side cannon. Goodbye, Dread Knight. I did spend a CP because I felt squirrely because there was 5, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going for the 6th. And so I got all 6, and we did enough to blow up the Dreadnought. So
yeah, he did need 3 to go through because he had 7 wounds left.
Yes. So kudos to him. Good job, guy. Good job.
And of course, it's the Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought that stands back up on a 2-up, but I rolled a 1, so he's dead.
Yes. All comes together. As far as the Sisters of Silence, they have a terrible rule. Absolutely horrible rule. Like, I don't understand why it even exists. They get a 3-up Feel No Pain versus psychic attacks. So things like, my 2 side cannons coming from over here that are psychic, or the side cannon over here that's psychic, or the side cannon over here too as well. Just couldn't pick them up. We have one Sister of Silence left. That 3-up Feel No Pain is a real bother. And then we did try and charge. We did spend a CP to try to re-roll it because I would really have liked to kind of lower Lane's points on that one, but we're not able to make the charge. Potentially a wasted CP, but we have quite a bit, and I don't feel like a lot of my strats are really going in with this matchup or happening right now. So we only destroyed one unit for no prisoners, so we're only going to get 2 points on that. And then recover assets, we're only getting 2 areas, so we're going to get 3 on that. So not terrible, just if we go into a challenger card, at least Lane's not totally running away with the board. That's it. Over to Lane and the Custodes for their bottom of 2.
On my turn, I pulled no prisoners and recover assets. We'll see if we can kill a few things here. It's going to be a little tricky. Just tons of 4-up embalms across the table, so hopefully we can do a little bit of killing. But this Achilles, who had rapid ingress before, is coming forward here. Should have a pretty solid charge here. They do get +1 to their charge rolls. I also stepped out Kyria here, so she can maybe soften that squad up a little bit before making a charge into there. We spent 1 CP to move the Land Raider through the wall, disembarked Trajan Valorous and his delightful squad of boys. And yeah, they're going to do some work here. We, of course, moved up the Galatis Dreadnought. Again, +1 to charge. Going to charge in there. Going to do some shooting. I've got Caladius's and the Land Raider ready to shoot into these Dreadnoughts here, Dreadknights here, and the little baby Dreadnought, little baby brother in between there. And then after I had completed my movement, DJ did rapid ingress the Purifiers. So they're going to try to hit me on an Overwatch there. So because I'm on an objective, they'll get full rerolls to wound. Luckily, the Purifying Flames will only be hitting on 6s, but all those incinerators will hurt me with some damage there. So I'm going to do a little shooting. Kyria Drax stepped out here to shoot down here. They only shot once. I didn't use their twice per game on those guys, and they did manage to pick up 2 of those. She got 3 of her 2 damage death wounds through, and then 1 bolter got through to finish off one of those guys. So we got 2 left there. Hopefully the Achilles can charge and make the charge in there and finish them off. We did this Caladius, did manage to pick up this Nemesis Dread Knight on his own, got 3 shots through. DJ failed 3 of his embalms and just rolled enough damage. D6 +2 is pretty consistent, able to pick him up. Next Caladius shot at the little baby Dreadnought, got him down to 1 wound. And so what I did after that was I had the Land Raider here fires Hunter Killer Missile, not Hunter Kisser Missile.
Hunter Kisser.
Sending a long distance kiss over him. And then put the 4 las cannons over here into the Purifiers because I don't like them. They're going to Overwatch me. So we did manage to pick up the little baby Venerable Dreadnought with a Hunter Killer and then picked up just 2 of these guys? 1 of these guys with the las cannons.
Yeah.
It was then Trajan Valorous' unit that they did their shooting, and they did shoot twice, and they were able to chip a few more of these guys away. So DJ can still Overwatch with the incinerators. They might pick up maybe 2 of those guys, I think.
If I'm lucky.
You get to reroll wounds. I am toughness 6, your strength 6, so they'll be forced to wound, but they're AP 1.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, we'll do that. We also picked up one of these guys in shooting. He fired his family flamer. The girls filed their flamers, and they were able to scrape 1 of those guys off that. So now it's time to make charges. I got some key charges here. Should be pretty good, like 4 or 5 inch charges, but I got a CP for a reroll. Let's see where we go. All right, so the Achilles made his charge. He did roll a 6 on his Immortals when he started the fight, so he did pick up 1 of those Terminators and then was able to punch through the other one. Over here, the Galatis picked up, 3? No, 2. 2 of those guys. DJ made enough Invincible so that I didn't finish the squad. They didn't do any damage back to me. Over here, a lot going on here. So because I charged in and DJ heroic with the 4-man Terminator behind the building here.
And Overwatch.
And
Overwatch
yeah.
did not even pick up a dude.
Yeah, the Overwatch, I made all my saves. He had some incinerators. Running on 4s, full rerolls. Didn't roll bad numbers. Yeah, I got a fair number of wounds. I just spiked my saves on the 3-ups. So I took 1 wound on 1 guy. He heroic in with the Terminators. I fought first. Trajan did his big 10 attacks. Got a fair number of wounds, but DJ did spike his saves on here.
It was my turn.
Yeah. DJ spiked the saves here, and he only took 1 damage from Trajan, 0 from the 1 Custodian that could fight into him, and the guy with the Misericordia did chipped off 1 damage, so barely anything there. We did pick up 2 Terminators though when we fought into the Terminators, because he heroic into these, because these guys were not in base-to-base contact with models that were in base contact with the Dread Knight. They couldn't fight that way, so they had to fight into the Terminators. I would have rather just put everything in the Dread Knight, but we did kill 2 Terminators with the swings, and on the swings back, they finished off the 1 guy with the Misericordia. So dice were very swingy here. I'm luckily still alive. I want to do more damage to that Dread Knight, but we did get 3 unit kills for no prisoners and recovered assets in 2 places. That's that. DJ, do you have any shenanigans to declare at the end of my turn?
I probably will, but I'm
scooping anybody?
Probably will. I want to check the score first and see if I'm going to be looking at a challenger card, since I kind of would know that. At the end of the turn, we'd know what you were kind of scoring, so I should be able to figure that out. I believe I'm getting a challenge card, and then I don't think I am going to pick anybody up, because everyone's kind of in a good position. I still have 1 unit off board, and I think these guys might just go tangle with that Dreadnought.
Okay, sounds like fun. All right, on to your turn.
All right, finished up the movement phase. For this turn, we're looking at Display of Might, Established Locus, and we got a challenger card that just says we need to have a unit in our opponent's deployment zone. Nice thing about Grey Knights, we can do that pretty easily. So we did Battle Shock and failed with the Purifiers, but not really any strats that we're using on them, so we're just going to move them up and try and do some damage, maybe pick on this Land Raider a little bit since it's on the objective. And then over here, we fell back with the Terminators to take this objective since they're OC 3. Oh, Grandmaster's going to stay in combat. He's going to shoot out of combat and try and hit the Land Raider. We'll see how that goes, hitting on 4s. These Terminators moved up. They could charge if we need to. Get in there and do some work. We fell back with these guys. We got 1 back with the Apothecary, so that when we deep struck in with these guys, we're going to establish my Locus as well as score my Challenger card. Now Lane kind of has to make a decision on which way he wants to go with him. The tank can fall back there and start shooting at them, but not really able to finish off the squad. He's got 2 there, but then it's like, okay, but then what are you doing elsewhere? Then lastly, we're looking at like a 5 or 6 inch charge for these bros with the Grandmaster who smacks really, really hard going into hopefully this Dreadnought. So, all right, first things first, we got to get some shooting done, and we'll see how this goes. All right, so shooting phase. We did nothing.
You did 3 wounds to a Land Raider. That's not nothing, because it makes my Land Raider stronger.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping for a lot more. And that was from, I think we got 1 side cannon round through with all of him. We did have the Purifiers try and go re-roll wounds into him. They did nothing, just nothing. Everything just smacked the Land Raider and just failed. So we went right over into fighting. We did. The Crow was able to Stormbolt her down the last sister, so hooray. So we charged, we popped both our abilities, and unfortunately, Lane made a lot. We've been spiking a lot of invulns this game. That's kind of where the telltale story, because while he spiked a lot of invulns and I did no damage, my Terminators kind of just whiffed on their hits, but for the Grandmaster and all his attacks, he spiked invulns, so he's down to 6, it looks like. Or is that a 5? I can't tell.
6.
But then when he smacked me back, I made all my invulns. Over here, similar story. 2 guys went into the Terminators to try and hurt them and pick them up because Lane chose to interrupt. And I saved decently, so I only lost 2. But then when he tried to smack the Purifiers, I lost 1 because AP2 going into 2 up, still 4 up over there. So that worked. And then when we swung back, we did a little bit of Crow was able to pick up 1 because he gets reroll wounds into him. And then the Terminators whiffed, but the Grandmaster hit home and cleared the squad. So now it's just down to Trajan, and that's my turn. So homeboys back here, they established a Locus for me and scored my Challenger card, and then Display of Might. What do we got? You got 1, 2. Go ahead. What do you got?
1, 2, 3, 4. And you just have 1,
2, 3. Yeah, they're inside. Purifiers are out. So I got 3, I think. That's it. So I'm not going to display any might. I think we'll pitch that for a command point because I got other work I'm going to have to do. So, all right, over to Lane.
This turn, I got Area, Denial, and Assassinate. So we're going to try to Assassinate probably the Nemesis. Dread Knight Grandmaster. Didn't really make a play for these guys here. He's not going to be able to wipe that squad by himself. But yeah, so what we did is we advanced this squad. Now, the Custodian Guard, their weapons are Assault, and Kyria Draxus's anti-infantry Dev Wound gun is Assault as well. I had to advance them so she can get within 18. Her other gun can't be shot, but I'm more concerned about the Dev Wounds here. Trajan Valoris fell back and was able to get within range of the Land Raider, so I embarked into it to stay safe. We moved this guy up to get on the objective, advance the girls up, just so they don't get shot if these guys stay on the board. The Galatis is like, hey, you know what? Let's fight. So we're going to try and kill the Nemesis Dread Knight Grandmaster here to get our Assassinate and try and wipe these guys to get our area denial. Let's do a little shooting. Okay, so Kyria Draxus and her squad shot down here. We're able to finish these guys off. They did shoot twice. We had some redundancy because this guy could have shot at them to finish them off too. But she was able to get her Dev Wounds through. They're pretty good when they're re-rolling full wound rerolls. So this Caladius and the Land Raider shot at the Grandmaster. Got him killed, and then nothing happened here. He shot into engagement range, but nothing happened there. And then this Caladius shot downtown and picked up 2 of the Terminators. That's it. 1 charge over there with a Galatis, and then we'll do some fighting. Galatis made his charge and bonked away the last 2 Terminators. Flat 3 damage is handy. And then these guys got to fight first, and then they take the last 6 wounds off the Achilles and finished him off. So that's it. I did get area denial because I have denied the area, and I did pick up Assassination for the Nemesis Dread Knight. On to DJ's turn.
Things are not looking good as we move into desperation mode now. We got Storm Hostile Objective and Secure No Man's Land. So the only way to secure No Man's Land is going to be, we're going to hold this objective. We picked up 1 squad of Terminators, put them down there. And we did pick up the Purifiers. Those were picked up at the end of Lane's turn. We picked these guys up because they would have got just to get them closer, because this is closer than their actual move, so that they're within 9 inches of these girls on the other side of the wall, so we can charge and try and stick that charge to, beat them up and take that objective away since we're a high OC unit. Otherwise, we did bring the Purifiers back down over here, try and burn this squad, and then it's going to be a heck of a charge for them to get in over here and to basically what the goal is to try to steal that objective. So, all right, let's see what we can do. All right, so shooting and fighting. Shooting, nothing happened. You
scraped some damage off of the pallets.
Yeah. We scraped some damage off this little tank, the little mini tank that was in here with the multitude of psi cannons. And then we charged. So we charged the tank, Lane heroic. I actually split my attack, got scary in there. I had to spend all my CP on like rerolls and stuff. But we're able to finish off the tank and take out 1 guard, and then pile onto the objective to take Lane's home field. So we will get Storm Hostile Objectives. We did destroy a unit, so we got our Challenger card, but Secure No Man's Land, we're only going to get 2 points for the Terminator squad that we put back over here. That's going to be it for my turn. Oh, these guys failed to charge on a CP reroll. So that's it. Over the Custodes.
At this point, we're moving pretty quickly through the turns here. I pulled behind enemy lines and secure No Man's Land. I did spend my CP to pitch a tempting target and ended up with secure No Man's Land. So we are securing here and here. I advanced the Galatis onto DJ's home field objective. This Caladius shot 2 of the Terminators away, then charged that one. Didn't have any CP for a tank shock, but we just tie him up so he can't up down here or anything. And then over here, we shot 2 of these Terminators away. But DJ made a lot of his involves between both the Caladius and the Land Raider shooting at him. Only picked up 2. Trajan came in and didn't kill anybody. DJ made his involves there too. Of course, when he swung back at me, he only did 2 damage to Trajan. So kind of a stalemate there. But that's it. That's it for my turn.
Here, you shot me down to 1 Terminator and charged, so I can't be fancy.
Yeah. That's it. On to DJ's turn.
All right, so for the Grey Knight final turn, we got Sabotage, Bring It Down, and our Challenger card, which was an action in the shooting phase away from our opponent. Weren't able to bring it down, weren't able to do the action, so we just started the Sabotage here. We'll see if these guys live. They're going to take the heat of everything into them. We fell back just so we could keep a hold on this objective with these guys over there, maybe. And then we tried to take Trajan down with incinerators and everything in charge, and got him down to 1 wound, but that was it. So, oh, you have him at 2, actually. He was down to 1 wound, but that's it for me. Oh, and then we stayed in combat over here because even if we move, it's turn 5, Lane scores at the end of his turn. He just shimmies the 3rd sister, and he'll probably shoot him down too. So sorry, not a lot of action coming out of it. Oh, we'll have to talk about the Grey Knights in this aspect in the post game. We're not just not enough damage output out of the Terminators, honestly. Just really not. When the dice go south and there's no reroll option, it kind of hurts. And that's it. And I'm not even saying it was dice. The dice this game were very, very clean, very even on both sides. But when you have a bad dice roll, you don't have any way out of it to correct it in any way. So that hurts the Terminator damage output, especially going into Custodes. So, all right, Lane, clean me up, and let's roll to the end.
All right, friends, for my last turn, I pulled Sabotage. I did pull Secure No Man's Land, Defend Stronghold, and DJ still got some Terminators here that are OC3, so I just spent the CP to pitch that. I pulled Display of Might, so that means I'm going to get 6 for Sabotage because the Galatis is sabotaging back there in DJ's deployment zone. Display of Might, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in No Man's Land. DJ has 1. And we do score primaries pretty well. So,
and you zapped Crow.
Yeah, Crow. We did between the Gladius and the Land Raider.
He tried.
Crow did.
No.
Crow did.
Crow croaked.
Crow did. So these guys that survived just give DJ a sabotage for the end of his turn. So that means the final score today is Custodes in the Solar Spearhead scored a nice round 100, and Grey Knights scored a nice 69, 100 to 69. Follow us over, guys, to the post-game chat. We will talk a little bit more about how things went, the new Grey Knights, that sort of thing. Other than that, have a good one, guys.